Hi class, this week's activity involves a purchase order. And we will learn what a purchase order has to contain and also the various ways to fill out a purchase order using Excel spreadsheet. So first of all, let's see a purchase order example. Every purchase order, no matter who issued it, it has to contain the buyer's information and the seller's information. It is usually sent from a buyer to a seller, and it starts with the information of the buyer. We have the buyer's company name, sometimes with logo, contact information, shipping address, and also billing address. And also, since you are requesting from your vendor or requesting from your supplier, you also need to specify the vendor's information, including the company name, the department, or the contact, whoever, maybe it is the seller or it is the manager. And you will need to specify the product or the services that you agree to buy, including the description, including the quantity, the unit price, and the total price. If a discount is applicable and agreed by both parties, then you may add the discount. And also, if there are other fees, for example, shipping or tax, it has to be reflected here. Also, important information includes the terms of sale. For example, are you using FOBs? And what is the location? Is it FOB the destination or FOB the place of the shipping? Okay. Also, you need to specify who is responsible for the purchase order. The buyer, the signature of the buyer would come to here. Okay. The first activity asks you to assume that you are a buyer for the College of Ag. I have typed in those information here. Those information you really need to use your keyboard, do a manual type here. But here, the shipping information, we really don't have to type again. Okay. What we can do is just to use whatever information that we already typed in and put a equal sign first. We think this place we need to fill in the company name. So it equals to A1. The same way, E2 would equals the address, city, and phone number. Okay. And then the last one would be the email address. As for the items, we know that we need only one item in this purchase order. That is the reason we type 1 here. But in case we have a combination of different, say, products, we may add the second item, the third item, the fourth item, so on and so forth. Okay. For the description, if you have more detailed information, you need to specify here. Okay. In this case, we only know this would be a Ag logo t-shirt. Quantity 20 with a unit price of $10 each. So the total line, we need to use a formula. It's 20 times the unit price 10. Okay. The subtotal, really we need to use a formula too. It would equals to the sum of each item. Okay. So the formula would be sum, and starting from the cell G19 to the cell G22. And in this example, there's no shipping or tax involved. And that's the reason we'll leave 0, 0 in these two cells. But for the total, well, the formula would be the sum of subtotal shipping and all other fees. Okay. Now let's see how to create a drop-down list for the vendors section. The reason we are going to use a drop-down menu is that usually we've maintained a list of all vendors now we had good relationship with, and each time we're not entering their information again, but we are going to select from the pre-approved list. This is the list example. We see that we usually have a vendor name, ID, address, city, phone number, email address, and also the content information. To start with, we need the data validation. You can locate the data validation command from the Data tab and go to the Data Tools group. And the icon may be hidden here, a very small icon, but if you enlarge the Excel spreadsheet, the button will be larger. Click on this one and see that the first tab allows you to choose whether you would like any value in this cell or that you want this cell to be validated by Excel. Now we would like to use a list, a drop-down list. So choose list here and need to specify that we would like the list to be located here on the vendor list. So let's click the arrow here and select the name of the vendors. Okay. Be cautious that we are not selecting other columns in this list. We are not selecting the header, but only the names. Hit enter and go back to the window. Now let's see if we would like to add an input message and also an error message. The input message will show when the cell contains data validation is activated and whether you would like to show this input message. If yes, we check this box. And we put a title here. Maybe we name this as hint. Okay, please select from the list. And the error message or the error alert message, this will show after a invalid data is entered. For example, you want others to select from the drop-down list, but however, someone just typed in a new name. In this case, you would like to show a stop sign or a warning sign or just an information sign. Let others aware of this situation. The differences between these three are that for stop message, they will have to come back to the previous step and try again. For warning, it will just give a warning message. The data entering person can choose either go back, retry it, or just leave it. Okay. The information window will not force you to go back. It just tells you very politely that you will have to select from the list. Okay, let's try a stop message here. The title would be stop. I would like to see stop. Okay, and the error message would be you will need you select from the list. And let's see if I click OK, what will happen. Okay, now the company name cell is activated. That's the reason we can see the hint message. If we activate another one, the message will just be gone. And if I reactivate this cell, it re-shows me the hint message. Now let me type, say, a random number here. I will be shown the stop window. Stop is the name I just entered, right? And this is the message. You will need to select from the list. This is what I entered a minute ago. And I can either choose retry or choose I don't want to edit this cell. I just would like to cancel. Now we can choose, for example, the second from the list or the first from the list. Okay. The other cells here under the standard section, we would like a VLOOKUP to autofill for us. If you cannot recall what a VLOOKUP function looks like, please go back to the previous week's handout, and we do have a detailed information there. So now let's just start with a equal sign, and we use VLOOKUP. The first argument we need to type in is the location, the cell we want Excel to look for. In this case, it is A8. We can use a $sign to fix this cell because we would like to copy the VLOOK equation down to other cells. The second argument, we need to specify the table. Okay. The table or the list we would like Excel to look at. Here is where the list we would like Excel to look for. So select the table starting from the vendor name column and stop at the last column, which is the content. The third argument we need to enter is the column number, column index number. Remember that the first column, our vendor name, would always be at the far left of the table, and we start the coding from here. So 1 for column B, 2 for column C, and 3 for column D, 4 for column E, 5 for column F, and 6 for column G. So now we are typing the 6 here. The last argument would be we would like to specify whether we like a true approximate match or we would like an exact match, which is false. In this case, we really like a exact match, so a false. Okay, and don't forget to hit the enter button. Let's see. Now Excel shows Jenny, which supposedly would be the sales or the content for the vendor in Dubai unit. Okay, let's double check. Yes, it seems like so. So we can copy this cell and paste it to the rest of the section. What we need to modify here is the column number. This one, we know this is the street address, the column C, which will be coded as the second from the list. So we, instead of using 6 here, we use 2. The next one is the city and zip code, column 3. Then the next one, I believe it is the phone number and the email address. So they are column 4 and 5. Okay. Now we have completed everything except for the shipping information and FOBs. Okay. For here, we don't have a list for shipping method. So what we can do is that we know it will be shipped via truck. So we can just type truck here. FOB, because the delivery date will be scheduled for a later date, and the products will change the title at the point of shipping. So FOB would be the shipping location. Shipping terms, because this is prepaid shipping, no fees involved, we just need to specify this is prepaid shipping. Okay, that's it.